Major changes are coming to a number of American institutions, the church and the TSA. Yes, the two are having major changes, just very different ones. The first, churches will now be able to, well, all houses of worship will now be able to make endorsements for political candidates in elections without losing their tax exempt status, so long as they make these endorsements within their houses of worship. Essentially, a pastor or a rabbi can now make an endorsement of Donald Trump, Kamala Harris, whoever's running for president, local, state, federal elections, doesn't matter, as long as they do so within their congregation in these private settings, and they could do it from the pulpit, right? And they could do it without losing their tax exempt status, according to new exemptions announced by the IRS in a lawsuit by two Texas churches and Christian broadcasters. Internal communications during religious services no longer constitute political activity under current IRS code. So that is a significant development. Meanwhile, if you are traveling, you're going to have some major changes to TSA. TSA, according to CBS News, will no longer require individuals to take off their shoes when going through regular screening processes. Now, the reason why individuals were required to do so originally was back in 2001, in December, a man tried to bomb an aircraft by putting a bomb in his shoe, and he was caught. Well, now, more than 20 years later, people will no longer have to take their shoes off when flying. Before I continue, please consider subscribing to my Substack by clicking the button below to support my work or sending a one-time donation via Venmo to Aaron-Parnas. Meanwhile, the Trump administration is under fire, under renewed criticism this morning. Anticipation had been built over Donald Trump's and Pam Bondi's release of the Epstein files. Well, they released a video showing the hallway outside of Jeffrey Epstein's cell the night that he died. And conveniently, there is a minute missing from 11:58:58 to midnight. About a minute and 2 seconds are missing from the video. And a lot of folks are now asking, what is that gap and why is there a gap in the Epstein video? Officials offered no immediate explanation for the gap in the video. Documents obtained by Ken Klippenstein confirmed that yesterday's operation at the MacArthur Park in Los Angeles was a, quote, show of presence meant to send a message to residents in Los Angeles about the power of the federal government. You literally had CBP officers on horseback, armed with rifles, marching down MacArthur Park in Los Angeles in an effort to scare residents. Stephen Miller, the White House Deputy Chief of Staff, referred to Kilmar Abrego Garcia as, quote, an illegal alien terrorist. And Fox News' Jesse Waters said, quote, I wish he was kind of getting tortured a little bit. That is a direct quote from Waters. I put the video below. Now, if anyone knows anything about Kilmar Abrego Garcia, you would know that he was actually tortured in an El Salvador prison when he arrived there at the CCOT facility. Some good news, according to AJ Legault, State Senator John Hoffman, who was the other member of the Minnesota legislature who was targeted in the political assassination earlier last month, has been discharged from the ICU. A new proposal by Senators Alex Padilla and Cory Booker would require federal immigration agents to wear visible identification and essentially ban most mask use by federal agents. That would be a significant development if it passes. Planned Parenthood secured a temporary injunction allowing its clinics to continue receiving Medicaid funding for non-abortion services despite a provision in the Republican budget bill aiming at blocking such funding. The death toll from Friday's flash floods in central Texas have now surpassed 100 and is expected to rise as search efforts continue. Meanwhile, two 19-year-old counselors from Mexico, Silvana Garza Valdez and Maria Paula Zarate, are being hailed as heroes for keeping 20 girls safe during the July 4th flooding at Camp Mystic. As the water rose, they calmly moved the girls to safer cabins, labeled them for identification, and kept them calm while awaiting rescue. An unknown fraudster used AI to impersonate Secretary of State Marco Rubio, sending fake voice messages and texts to at least 5 senior officials. The U.S. has only about 25% of the Patriot missile interceptors needed for all Pentagon military plans, according to The Guardian. And Benjamin Netanyahu, the Israeli prime minister, visited the White House yesterday, where he offered Donald Trump a Nobel Peace Prize nomination. That's all the news right now. If you want to support my work, subscribe to my Substack by clicking the button below or send a one-time donation via Venmo to Aaron-Parnas, and I'll see you this evening.